Hi, everyone. This is the free training on January 14th, 7 a.m. Eastern Time. My name's Lucas with Qiqo Chat. I'll share my screen. This is where we are right now. Everyone has joined the event and they've been able to click join video for main room so we can see that their video is on for everybody. And on the right-hand side, this is a brief orientation to where we are. And then I'll show you an event that has a lot of customization. And then you will each get a chance to build your own event. So we'll go for another hour and 45 minutes. Anybody can leave at any time. We won't be offended at all. If at any point you have a question, you can type it here in the notes. That'll make it easy for us. You can start typing already. On the right-hand side is a notes document that everyone can edit. Right now, you see my screen, so you cannot edit by clicking on my screen. You would have to take a look at the Qiqo Chat page. So you'd have to get out of Zoom screen sharing when it takes up the full screen at the very top of your computer. I believe it's the top for most everybody. You would get out of full screen, something like more options. And you can just type here. That's one of the powers of Qiqo Chat. We've got several channels of communication going. We've got Zoom, and Zoom chat is where most of the chat, the written chat, would take place. But on Qiqo, you can have other documents like this where people are typing at the same time. If there's any tech support questions, we ask for people to put them here during an event. Not today. Today, you could just speak it to me and interrupt me. Even if I'm talking, just interrupt me. That's completely okay. Tech support chat here for people that have any questions during a regular conference. It's helpful to keep those tech support questions in one place. And it's also helpful to have two people running your Qiqo Chat. One person doing the talking to the people, and another person is looking for the questions from the participants, especially at the beginning when people are trying to sign in. Some events can be completely open, and other events can be restricted access, just people with specific email addresses. And we'll talk about those options. So now in Qiqo Chat, you can click on a different room. So I'm going to select room 1, and you can do it too if you want to. And in a few seconds, it takes about 5 seconds, my profile icon will show up over here. But I'm already in the room. I see some other people are joining the room now. I see a new photo over here. And this can be a photo for that breakout room to try to give an atmosphere or an environment. And then on the right-hand side, this is a new notes document. And everybody could be typing there as well. So that is generally what goes on with Qiqo Chat. Every one of these breakout rooms down here, you have 10 by default. Every one of them is automatically connected to a different Zoom meeting. It's not a Zoom breakout room, it's a different Zoom meeting. And also it has this tool on the right called Etherpad. I see someone's question, is this a Google Doc or just in Qiqo? I'll take out the U. This is a Etherpad, which is not a Google Doc. It's open source software that we have deployed for just Qiqo Chat users. If you ever wanted to create your own Etherpad, because maybe you want multiple Etherpads in a room, you could do that. I'm going to go back to the main room, and I'm going to put it in the notes here. I'm going to say helpful links, create new Etherpad links here. But all the Etherpad links are created for you automatically. But if you wanted to create more Etherpad links, I would say this is a test. And now you have a new Etherpad. And you can take that and you can use that in your workshop. And it's just a link that you would copy. They're public, so anybody can get to them. You don't want to put any sensitive information on it. If you want sensitive information, then you'd use Google Docs and you would restrict access. So we can display a Google Doc here on the right-hand side, and there's a lot of tools that we can display. Let's take a brief look at some of the tools we can display. Here's a list of tools you can use. There are tools for taking notes like Etherpad, Google Docs, and CryptPad. CryptPad is a secure and more privacy-focused version of Etherpad based in the European Union. All of Qiqo chat servers are based in the European Union so that we can abide by the more restrictive privacy and pro-user privacy laws. Here are some whiteboarding tools. You can embed Miro, and GroupMap is a great tool. It's built by facilitators also in Australia. And then you could put in forms. Mentimeter is a powerful tool that many facilitators use. And then the simpler ones are, say, Google Forms. Slido is also very powerful. Teambits in Germany, also very powerful for facilitators. You can make a schedule in your event using a simple Etherpad just by typing, or a Google Doc just by typing. If you're using an open space, you might want to let people type in their topics. An open space event is where people choose all the topics that they want to use. That can be with Google Sheets or other tools. You can embed YouTube and Vimeo, even music from Spotify. You could put webinars in there like Crowdcast and Big Marker, but that's not very common. People seem to use Qiqo Chat not for webinars, but instead for Zoom meetings. And you can combine it. In your main room, you can have a webinar, and in all of your breakout rooms, you can have Zoom meetings. People like to use Padlet, which is like sticky notes. And there are some fun networking tools, which we're going to get a chance to explore today in our training. You can embed Twitter, LinkedIn. So if you're hosting a conference or you have a sponsor and you want to display their LinkedIn feed, you can put in LinkedIn posts. You can put in games like playing with puzzles. And you can put in a map of participants. And this one's pretty common, a regular PDF document. Let's go take a look at, so let's put that link in here so you could test that out if you want. I'm going to put it here. Tools you can embed. And I'll link it. I'm linking on Etherpad. So there, if you open that link, you'll be able to see it too. In order to see it, you'd have to go back to the main room. I see several people here are over in room 1. And that's kind of also neat about Qiqo Chat. You can go take a look at the notes in each room, and then you can decide where to join video. Once you click join video, that's a separate Zoom meeting, as I mentioned, for every room. So you could be looking at the notes of room 1, even though you're in the main room here. This is an example Qiqo Chat event that was made. This is the second event by this organization, Transforming Faces. It's a wonderful organization based in Toronto, Canada. They had 182 people, and I'm going to click map view over here, and we can see, so they were coming from all over. These are doctors that help children that have a cleft palate, a cut right here when they're born, and they came for their second event. So it's possible that we can teach you how to do your first event like this, or you can hire us to help you learn how to do it, or you can just do it on your own. We have plenty of free documents where you can learn on your own. We have open office hours about 6 times every week. We offer 1 training per week, but this week's special since we have 9 trainings. So let's go in and see what they did. They have a photo on the left-hand side of the logo for their organization. After the event is over, the video is turned off by default, but you can turn it back on. On the right-hand side, they have a PDF here, which is how to use Qiqo Chat. They made this. And also you can put up here an announcement to say, the most important thing when people arrive, I recommend an announcement that goes up here and says, welcome, please click the green button to join video. I put that in our event by typing it in here into Etherpad, this part right here. And you can do it however you like. But that's important to let people know that once they get in, they have to click join video. Once they join video, they're speaking with you, and now they're not going to be lost. I'll show a few more things, and then I'll take any questions that are on your mind, and then we can start building our own event. Let's take a look at some of the other things that Transforming Faces put into their event. Here is another tool. We'll click on schedule, and you can see they put in a PDF of their schedule. So people would know, okay, you can start in the check-in help desk at 12 o'clock. There's the opening in the plenary room, that's right here. And then they had some breakout rooms, rooms A, B, C, D. They had different topics all happening around the same time, all around the world, but at the same time. So A, B, C, D, and they even had a trivia room at the end. So afterwards, just some more fun things to do. This is meet one of the speakers, and then a space for alumni to, so you see, you can make all the different spaces you want, and they can have different activities. We'll see what else they embedded. Looks like a map of participants. So they just put in the map, and you can put in YouTube videos. I'm gonna go to their opening plenary and see what else they have in there. I click opening plenary, and here's their schedule again. This is the history of their organization. And then I won't click on that one because it probably has private information like email addresses. And then if we go into one of the rooms, maybe we'll see some information about the speakers. I'll go into room A. So here we have one of the speakers. Okay. And this is a web page. So you can put in a full web page here. Doesn't have to be just a Google Doc or PDF. Maybe there's some other web pages here. Okay, so this is a good spot for me to stop and take any questions that you have. Let me first see, do we have any questions written here? How many people can write on an Etherpad at the same time? I would say that if you have more than 50 people, we recommend probably going with Google Docs. We have not had we haven't reached the maximum yet. I'm not sure if it's 100 or 200, but if something goes wrong, you want to be using Google Docs because no one will blame you. If something goes wrong and you're using Etherpad, then people will say, why did you choose Qiqo Chat? And then they'll question you. So if you instead use Google Docs, Google has a maximum of about 75 or 100 people. So it's not too common that you need a lot of people writing in one Google Doc. If you're going to be building a schedule with a Google Doc, we recommend using a Google Sheet. I'll briefly show what you can do with a Google Sheet to create a schedule. This is the Internet Identity Workshop, which is an open space event. Here are all their sponsors. They had 400 people in this open space event. I'll click participate now, and I'm gonna go to the opening circle. That's where I end up. We see the video is off because the event is over. I'm gonna click Agenda Day 1 View. This is a 3-day workshop, so they had 3 agendas, 1 agenda for each day. And here in Google Sheets, they had a blank agenda. They just listed breakout space A through O, and then people could type in their own topic right here, and they can also put their name. This makes it easy because I can take these topics and copy them as the facilitator. And I'm going to go over to our event over here, and I'm going to paste these topics into the admin controls. I click admin controls, set topics for breakout rooms, and you just paste them in. Maybe I'll also want to clean them up so that they're all on their own line and there's no empty spaces. It's up to you. I'll take out the empty spaces and I'll click Save Room Topics. Once I do that, all the topics are now in a separate room, and all the other rooms are hidden. So now you have very quickly created an online open space. It doesn't have to be fancy. People can now go into any of these rooms, click Join Zoom, and they'll be speaking with each other, and they also have the notes on the right. But to finish answering your question about how many people can use the Google Doc, so if you have more than 100 people using this spreadsheet, you'll have a problem. So there's something advanced you can do where you have 2 Google spreadsheets, one for people that are editing and one for everybody to view. So you can have an unlimited number of people viewing if it's a read-only Google Sheet, but for the part where people edit, you'll have 2 tabs. People would go in there and make their edits and come back, and you'll always have fewer than 100 people there. This is where it says Google Sheets. we have an explanation for how to do that. Yes, I heard a question coming.
Yes, could you repeat again? Where do we have to click in order to copy and paste the room topics?
Yes, Annik, over here as admin controls, this is not an event that you created, so you cannot see the admin controls, but in the event that you're about to create, you will have admin controls, set topics for the breakout rooms, and then you paste them in right there. Once you paste them, click save, and then they will all show down here. Did that answer the question?
Yes, thank you, Lucas.
Okay, I have a few more questions and then we'll just open it up to any questions that have not yet been written down. How many people can participate in a Qiqo chat event in total? The most we've had has been about 1,200. I think we can go up to 2,500 safely. We want to test that out. You can have 100 breakout rooms going down the left-hand side, and each Zoom meeting can have up to 1,000 people. We did have 1,000 people in one event. Zoom definitely does go up to 1,000. If you have more than 1,000 people, so in order to get them, I'll back up. By default, with no changes, you can have 300 people in a Zoom meeting. If you need to have more than 300 on any of these Zoom meetings, then let us know, and we put in a large meeting add-on, which costs an additional $50. We buy it from Zoom just like you do. If you go up to 1,000 people, that's $90 extra that Zoom charges us. You can use your own Zoom meeting. You don't have to use the ones that we provide for free. You'll save a little bit of money, but it will be some more work for you. We charge you less for any meeting where you use your own Zoom meeting. If you wanted to use your own Zoom meeting, there's a place to put it in where it says edit at the top of the page. I'll show that when we get in there. And let's talk about the cost for Qiqo. When people join a video chat, the cost is $1 per day per person, plus 1 cent per minute per person. We have a pricing calculator that you can use. If you are doing a 4-hour workshop, for example, it will cost $3.40 per person. How is Zoom integrated? Whose plan is it using? By default, we're using something called an API meeting. These are meetings that are created as soon as someone goes in and clicks the green button. We go to Zoom and we say, please give us a new meeting ID. And then that person joins that meeting. So the meeting is created right there on the spot. So we can create an infinite number of Zoom meetings for you. We say 100 because I think if you go more than 100 rooms, the page will load slow. So 100 rooms down the left-hand side. By default, you'll have 10. And as I mentioned, you can use your own Zoom account if you want, but most people don't. If you need international translation, then you're going to need a Zoom business account. We get those from Zoom, and you can get them from us. It costs $20 a month, and we just charge you that $20. And then you can have translation for multiple languages. How do you invite and bring participants into an event without registration and downloading the program or Zoom in the beginning? They should download Zoom before they arrive, and most people have now. If you don't want people to have to register, probably the most common way that you would do it is you would send them a personalized link. And the way that you do that, there's this page for which we're going to get a chance to test out today. You paste in someone's name, paste in 100 names. It would just go like this, paste them all in, and then click send. You can also add a custom message if you want. And if you want to make it fancy, you can make it custom HTML. So pictures, colors, the instructions are there. When I click send invitations, it sends me a link. If I don't have a Qiqo Chat account, it's going to create a Qiqo Chat account for me, and it will send me this link. It's a personalized link, so all I have to do is click the link, and I'm signed in. I don't need to enter a password. I know this is a lot of information. let me get to the last question, and then we'll just open it up for any follow-up questions you have. Can I reuse a previous setup I made for a new event, or do I have to start new each time? You can copy an event. Let's take a look at the edit interface. I click edit over here. This is where I can edit my topic or the description for the event and the start time. And you're going to get a chance to learn about how to customize your breakouts in this training. But down here, it says copy event. So you can make a copy once you get one that works. Copy, copy, copy. Okay, I answered a lot of questions there. Let me stop and hear any follow-up questions that you have. The floor is open for whomever would like to ask a question.
Do participants have to have a paid account of Zoom?
No, fortunately, they do not need a paid account with Zoom, and you don't need a paid account with Zoom either. Zoom charges us ½ cent per minute per person, or 30 cents per hour. We charge you 60 cents per hour, 1 cent per minute, and $1 per day. So you don't need to pay Zoom because we will pay Zoom for you.
Okay.
Can you tell me something about the technical requirements for participants, about screen size, bandwidth, computing power, and things like that?
Yes, Uwe. If you can use Zoom, then you can use Qiqo Chat. Most of the bandwidth is going to go over the video. And you're only going to load a Qiqo Chat page when you go to a new room. So it's very infrequent. Over the course of 4 hours, 6 hours, you might only load 5, 10 pages. So it's not intensive that way. And when you load the Google Doc, you're loading from Google. So if it's the regular requirements for a Google Doc. For browser compatibility, it works with all major browsers. However, sometimes a Safari user might have difficulty with a tool like Mentimeter, which requires maybe some sign in or is trying to remember something about the user if it's embedded. So for anybody that has a problem with an embedded tool, and it's very rare, Google Docs won't have this problem because you don't need to sign in, but say Mentimeter or Slido, underneath you can scroll down and that user can open the tool in a new window. So then Qiqo Chat is not in the middle and it will resolve any problem. If someone is coming from an organization like the European Commission or a United States government agency and they cannot use Zoom, by downloading it, they can click here where it says help. And if you cannot download Zoom, you can open Zoom in the browser and it will open it up in a new tab like this. You enter your name here. Okay, thank you for those questions. Do we have some more questions?
How do we put pictures and do you guys usually use video explanation, welcoming video for your participants?
Here's some example orientation videos. We do that. We do record them for some conferences, and you can take a look at these and probably have your own ideas for how to record them. I'll put that link here in the chat. What was the first half of your question?
How do we put on our posters in the main room, let's say, and in the different breakout rooms?
Okay, we'll get started creating our own event in just a moment. You'll be able to put in a Google Doc or anything else you like, and you'll also be able to change the images. All right, before we start that, did anyone else have any additional questions?
How about privacy issues and GDPR? Are you prepared for GDPR in Europe? Because we're so restricted, and our workshop is going to be for a government organization, so we have to be sure there.
Yes, we've done work for the European Commission. We're GDPR compliant as far as we know. We're very privacy centric. We don't share user contact information, and we worked with government.
So you could send me a signed agreement about data security and privacy.
Yes,
Yeah, great.
we can.
Perfect.
We've
Perfect.
worked with German federal agencies too, so they're
Great.
very pro-user, pro-privacy.
Yeah.
We don't
Yeah.
sell user data, and when people ask us to delete their accounts, we do that. So we don't make money off data, we make money off events. So, all right. Now, any
Perfect. Thanks.
additional questions? You're very welcome. We'll start with this tutorial here. So where you see helpful links, please click this tutorial and each of you will get a chance to create your own event. I'll stop sharing, and if someone would like to share their screen, then we can walk through. So you don't have to do the tutorial, but if you do, then you will get a chance. Click on that link where it says tutorial. Oh, let's see, it's not opening, is it? Did that open for you? Let me try that.
No reaction.
Oh, okay. Those links, yeah, for those links aren't working. Let me put that link to the tutorial in there. Okay.
Maybe if you just type the complete link that we can copy and paste it would help.
I'll put it in the Zoom chat. There we go. Maybe I didn't put that one in properly. Let me do that again, just to fix that. Yeah, now it works. If you click on tutorial, the link works. So. So would someone like to share their screen? Then you'll be able to follow along with that person. So we'll start, I'll share my screen in the beginning so you can see the tutorial. So sign in or create a free account. Everybody has already done that because you're already signed in to Qiqo Chat. So we're going to do this first one. For testing purposes, go to the demo circle. When you click on a link in Google Docs, it does this. It pops up like this. So click on the second thing that shows up there. Google Sheets is redirecting you. And then you're going to click add an event. And then you put in the title of your event. And that's all you need to do. You can change the time zone if you want. You could put in a description, but it's all optional. We'll scroll down and click schedule event. And I'm not going to go too fast for this tutorial. I want everyone to get a chance to test it out and feel it. So please interrupt me with any questions here. If you do not find the link, do not feel embarrassed. This is the chance to ask a question. All questions are welcome.
Okay, I don't know where to go to do the same thing.
Excellent. Okay, first, do you have the link to the tutorial, or shall I put it in? It's in the Zoom chat now.
It's in the Zoom chat, okay.
Uh-huh. Yes, any other questions here?
If I have a 3-day event, how do I add that in, or how do I put this in?
Okay, great question, Gordana. And Anik, once you get to what I'm sharing on my screen, you're going to want to click this first one in green where it says visit the demo circle. All right. And then you click add event, that green button. Gordana, with your 3-day event, we put the number of minutes. So I know that this is a little bit strange, but you just put the number of minutes, which would be 1440 times 3. So it's 4320. And then it will show as 3 days. Your event is not exactly 72 hours, but that's okay. 3 days is enough for people to know that they come back to the same place several times. And let's say if this is your event, I'd say January 1 through 3. So in the title, I would also recommend doing that. This way people know they come back to the same every time. If you have a number of hours, you can say, let's say it's 5 hours. So it's 5 times 60, 300 minutes. This is just to display on...
Yes.
Yes, next question.
Same if you have the same group collaborating over a certain amount of time with a project. And
So,
maybe 2 months and going back to the same place over and over again.
well, I would take the number of days and multiply it times 1440. And I've seen a few events like that. Some are like 30 days. And so once it's over 24 hours, it shows the number of days instead of the number of hours. And that's all. So you can put 1440 times 30 or however many days. And this has no impact. The important thing is we don't turn your video off during your event. So if your event is 30 days, your video stays on. We turn your video off so that you don't get any additional charges when your event is over. And you can go back in and turn your video on. So the only thing we need to do here is type in a title of your event and click schedule. Once you do that, I'll refresh the page. We'll see which events have been created already. So Inger's is here, and others may have also gone in. I can edit Inger's event because I'm an admin, but here you want to turn it to hidden. So if you select hidden, then it's not going to show up. But today it doesn't matter if your event is hidden or not. The only reason to make it hidden is if you're putting it in the demo circle, then other people can see it. If you're creating the event in your dashboard, then it's not going to be in the demo circle. We're putting it in the demo circle today because you want to do a free event. So the demo circle is for all your free events.
I don't see the button demo circle. I just saw add a new event.
That is good too. If you see add a new event at the top right, demo circle was right here. Maybe if you got there, then you saw the green button, you were already in the demo circle. It says example community of practice. That is the demo, and the URL says demo. Yes, it's not 100% clear, but this is the place where you can do your tests. I see a few more tests, Urban, reasons to go. And this is, if you don't want it to be in the demo circle, you can put it in, I can help you move it out of the demo circle too. So let me stop here to see if there's any questions, and people can keep moving ahead through the tutorial if they want.
So if I got it right, when we are setting up a meeting starting at 1 p.m. and finish at 5 p.m., start again at 9 p.m. next day and finish at 1 p.m., which makes 24 hours for the event, but you will only charge the 8 hours that are active, right?
That is correct. Zoom charges us by the minute and we charge you by the minute. So it's $1 per day. So that'll be 2 days,
yeah,
$2 per person, plus 1 penny per minute per person. That's 60 cents per hour. So if people,
perfect.
Now let's also say your event is 8 hours, but some people only come for 4 hours. We only charge you for 4 hours for those people because Zoom is charging us how much they're actually present.
That's pretty fair.
Great. Yes.
That's really good. I just wanted to ask what the green button join circle means at the top of the page where we're planning the event.
Okay, so this is a circle, which is a wrapper. It's an optional wrapper, and it's an optional wrapper for events. And for a demo event, you're putting it in the demo circle. You could see other people that have joined the demo circle. So these are the members of this circle. sometimes you might have a group that you want to come back over and over again. You would use a circle. If you don't need, meaning a collaboration over many months, like an online community, if you don't need a circle, then you don't have to have a circle. You can join, you can create an event that's not in a circle. And you do that up here, click your name, and then my events. And then when you create events that way, it's not going to be in a circle. A very brief overview to what is a circle. Here are the tools for this circle. I'll take a look at the member directory. So it kind of makes it more clear what a circle is. It's a place for the same group of people to go to many events. It's built for online communities or companies or associations. So here's all the members for this circle. And then here's the upcoming events for this circle. There's a newsletter that goes out every week to keep people updated about all the upcoming events. Circles are free. There's no charge for circles. We provide that so that you can keep coming back to Qiqo Chat and pay for more events.
Lucas, I still don't find the demo button to create my event. I created an event and I see that it's like scheduled, but I don't know how to go into it to organize it.
Perfect. Well, you're gonna, how about, would you like to share your screen and then we can all follow along? Some people can move ahead if they like, and people can ask additional questions. You're gonna click on that event, Anik, and then that's gonna take you into your event, and that's where you can edit it.
So this is my dashboard.
Great.
And I created Cercle de discussion, comment vivez-vous dans le nouveau monde, this event. And
Perfect. Please click on it. Click on the name of it there. And then you will go to the event and you will see the event. Everybody's event will look something like this. It's blue with a title. And then now there's an edit button, which is right next to where it says Nouveau Monde.
edit. Ah, okay.
So now we can start working through some additional parts of.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. I'm glad that you're going to be sharing your screen so people can follow along, and we'll go at your pace. People
Okay.
that have to leave early, you're welcome to leave early. You'll see the recording. And anybody, please feel free to type your questions into Zoom chat at this point. It'll be easier for us to see that way, or just speak them out loud. So when everybody created, oh yes, Sophie, I see a hand up.
Yeah, I've got a question. I've lost the page where I was creating my event.
Oh yes, it's possible because we're sharing screen right now that now you need to exit the full screen of Onyx screen share. Are you still looking at Zoom right now? Did it take up the full screen? Sophie, I think you're on mute right now.
Sorry, thanks. Was that to me? I need to leave the full screen mode.
Yes. So the way to do that, I think at the very top of the screen, it says view options. This is in Zoom.
Yeah.
And
okay.
Exit full screen. And now you've got Zoom. If you want, you can make Zoom small on one side of your monitor, and then you can put Qiqo Chat on the other. I normally don't put them side by side. I just look at one and I ignore the other, but you can do whichever you prefer. Any other questions before we start diving in? Anybody have any other questions?
I just mean I can't find the
Okay.
page in Qiqo Chat where I started doing this.
Okay.
I'm now on my events,
and
it doesn't seem to be in there. How do I get back to that page?
So if you're in my events, on the right-hand side, does it say future events?
Yes.
And there's nothing listed there?
No.
I think that maybe you didn't click the green button down at the bottom. So
yeah,
let's start over for you. Just please click the green button to create a new event. And then,
Okay,
and it doesn't have to be exact, but
okay, I'll start over. Thanks,
yeah.
Lucas.
And you're only one step behind because all we've done so far is just put in the title of the event. Ingrid, did
Okay.
you have the next question?
Yeah, sorry. In the plenary session, I'd like, I mean, I can put in a link, obviously for a Google Doc, for example, to have an agenda there, but can I upload a Word document from my computer? Or, I mean, I'm sure I can, I just don't know how.
Yes, I'll put in the link here. So you're going to upload a document as a PDF instead of a Word document.
Oh, okay, I see. And where do I do that? In the admin controls?
I will paste the link into Zoom chat.
Okay,
You're moving quickly and that is
sorry,
excellent.
sorry about that.
But,
Yep.
but
no,
I
that's
want
good.
I want you to explore and bring your questions just like this.
Okay.
Others we will get here for others.
Okay. Thank you.
So when you upload a document there, first save your Word document as a PDF and then upload it. And we'll be able to help do that later.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yes, other questions before we move through with all what's on Annik's screen? All right, so Annik, you've created the event by just putting in a title, and you've also maybe put a different January 27th as a start date. Very good. Now we're going to go through and let's take a look at your event to see what it looks like in the beginning. Please scroll down to the bottom and click the green button. So this is all you need to do to create the event. Just put in a title and a start time. Now you're in the event and everybody's looks the same. It looks just like the event that we're all in now, this tutorial event. On the left-hand side, you see the main room and you see you are present in the main room. On the right-hand side, you see a notes document that we're going to change out with Google Docs, or you can leave it like that. And then all of your meetings have a green button to a separate Zoom meeting that's already created. All of your rooms have a separate green button. So your event is ready to go. You can hold an open space just like this. By typing in a title, people show up, you can have an open space. You don't need to do anything more. But it's easy to do more customizations. When you're ready, please click Edit. It might be blocked by Zoom. It's in the top center of the page. There it is. Sometimes Zoom's video icons are going to block the top of the page. All right, now this is where you can enter a description for your event. Let's do something fancy. Please click Formatting Tips. And now this is not beautiful, but it's functional and it works. About 7 lines down, it says, use this format for images. Please copy up 2 lines there. Please copy that where it says IMG and that triangle bracket. Yep, please copy that all the way to the right. Copy that and paste it into the description area down below. And I'm going to get a link to an image for you. I'll get that butterfly image and we'll put that into your event. You can also type something while I'm getting that, type something underneath it or above it. And that is just going to be any text that you want to put in the description of your event. And I'll show you where this is going to go. All right, now in Zoom, I'm going to paste in a butterfly photo. If you can copy that link, please.
Okay.
Oh, it's hard to, so it's good that this is practice. When you're screen sharing, you might wonder, where did Zoom chat go? You have to go to more. I believe it's at the top. More and then chat. It's a Zoom control. Do you see it where?
Okay. Yes.
more and then
More
chat.
chat. Oh, thank you.
You're
Okay.
welcome. Yeah, it's good to.
But I still don't see.
And then we're looking for the chat window. Do you see chat on the right-hand side?
I'm looking for the chat window.
The chat window is in Zoom.
In Zoom, okay. Oh yes, okay, I see it.
Can you copy that? Can you copy the link where it says
Yes.
butterfly image link? Great. And then I see also there's another question we'll get to in a moment. Then go to the last tab there and double click where it says link to the image goes here. Double click on, just double click on it. Just up to here, not all the way to the end. So undo that, please.
Okay. How do I undo that?
Control Z. Okay,
Okay.
where it says link to the image goes here, double click on link to the image, just double click on link to the image. There we go. So that's how you can select one. Okay, now paste. Control V, very good. And one backspace. Okay, so all we did is we're putting in an image here. And the first time you do it, it's confusing. But please scroll down to the bottom and click the green button. Okay, so the changes that we made are on the landing page or the RSVP page for the event. Please click the blue button at the top left. It's the arrow button. And select that and then click on Event RSVP page. So here you can see your image, and this could be a logo for your event. And then the text is either down below or above, but this is how you can add an image to the front of your event. It takes a little bit getting used to, but that's all there is to it. And even people who are not familiar with how to use HTML, once they see that they can do it, they start doing more and more and they feel much more comfortable. But this is training, and so we're showing you things that are new. You don't need to put an image here. It's not necessary. I think there was an additional, oh yes, go ahead.
Yes, when will people see this page?
This is the page that they see when they click the invitation in their email.
Okay.
And the purpose of this page is to tell them that they are in the right event. There's the start time and the name of the event, and they can also see who is present. On the right, it says one RSVP, or I think in the other languages, if it's translated, then it's going to be one registration, one participant, that kind of thing. So you can see who's coming. Maybe you have sponsor logos instead of the butterfly.
Hi, Lucas, it's Nadine.
Yes, Nadine.
So like you said, it's not necessary to add an image, but I guess it's something that's good, especially if you want to add the logo for your company. So once the participants get there, they know exactly that they're in the right event, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Exactly. And if your logo for your company is not yet online, it has to be online to get the link, then you would use this other the other link I shared a moment ago. It says upload a document. And
right.
Someone has a good suggestion. Uva, why are we not using a better text editor? That's coming soon. Thanks for asking for it. It helps us prioritize it. Honestly, we're just so busy with doing so many events that some parts of the platform, we're used to it now. And that's not a great answer, but
it's okay. It's okay. And if you look at TinyMC, which we are using for our website as well, you can configure it so neatly that you can make it work for any purpose that you have. So it's really great. It's not such a big deal. Just try it.
Excellent. I definitely will. I'd use it on another project. I think it's awesome. We will bring it or another text editor into Qiqo Chat in the near future. So thank you for that. Then let's click participate now. I think the next thing we'd like to do is put in a Google document. So when we arrive in the event, on the right-hand side, we see the notes. But let's say we want to put in a Google document. So I see a Google document. It's tab number 4 for you, Anik. Please click tab number 4 in the top of your browser. It says Quick Start Guide. Maybe Zoom is blocking it. Do you see at the very top of the page, over 2 more tabs to the right? Good. Please copy that link to that Google Doc. In the top of the browser, if you click the address bar where it says docs.google.com, please copy that. Perfect. And before you do, I hope that it got the whole link. We'll see. Okay, now please click edit. That's going to be at the top center of the screen. And it's simple to paste in a Google Doc. We're going to go down to the orange section where it says customize your main space and breakouts. This is where you can change the number of breakout spaces. You can add a title for your spaces, but we'll come back to that. Please go down a little bit more. And it says online tools and notes pages. Please just paste it in. Okay, it's all set. There's the full link. The links have to be HTTPS. If it's, most websites are that way now, but if it's HTTP, it won't work. Okay, please go down to the bottom and click update. And now on the right side, we see the Google Doc is loaded. All right, that's all it is. You take the documents, you create them in Google, you copy the link, and you paste it in. If you want to paste a link into room 2, you put the link underneath. So 1 link per room is easy. It's just 1 link per row. Let's pause here to see if there are any questions. I think there's a lot of other things we can do. Let's see which way the group wants to go.
Lucas, I have a question. I have tried to do this sometimes, and when my participants have had problems with getting it, because I'll get like a question from Google, you have to give this person access to the document. What I'm doing wrong?
Okay, excellent. So by default, Google Docs are private, and you would please click on the Google Doc, and Heidi, it's all the way, let's get it in your browser. So tab number 4 in your browser, where you went to get the link to the Google Doc. Please click that. Perfect. One other thing to note. So I put the word preview on the end of the document. Edit the word preview, please. It's at the end of that link. Change it to edit. Google Docs normally say edit, but I put preview in there because it takes away all the buttons at the top. And that makes it a little bit simpler for participants. Please click enter when after you click edit. Now we're going to see the editable version of the document. So it has more things at the top, and that could be a little bit confusing. And at the top right, you'll see a blue button, and it's in different languages for every person, but that is where you'll either sign in or share. So if it's your document, you click that blue button and you say share, and then you want to make it editable for anybody who has the link, but that's where you do it. So Qiqo Chat just knows that you have a link to a Google Doc. Qiqo Chat does not know whether it's open for everybody to edit or not. Did that answer the question?
Yes, but when I put a document into here and we collaborate in the meeting and write, do I have to save this as a new document for later in my Google Drive as like documentation, or does the things we have done change anything in the original?
I would create a new Google document in Google Drive for every breakout room that you want and have them all available on Google Drive, and then take the link one by one and bring it into Qiqo Chat. When someone makes an edit, either in Qiqo Chat or in Google Drive, it's going to be updated everywhere for all users. Did that answer the question?
Yeah, so if you have some like original that you want to use for later processes, you have to keep this separate, because if you use this into one meeting and there's something changed in it, it will also change the original.
That's correct.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Now I'm going to give everyone a fun link. Let's see, this is a Google drawing. I'll get the link here. And I'll paste this into the Zoom chat. Anik, if you'd like to copy that link, then we're going to put it into your event. Please click Edit at the top center of the screen. We'll put this link into the second room called Room 1. The first one is in the main room. We scroll down to the orange section. We're going to do the same thing we did before, customize your main space. Scroll down to where it says Online Tools and put this in the second row.
Each row corresponds to one room.
That's correct. And now we can go down to the bottom to click the green button. We're going to arrive back at the main room, and nothing changed with the main room. We still have the same Google Doc, but if you click on Room 1 on the left, then we'll see the Google drawing. And so this is a very easy way so people can move those Post-its around and start typing. Yep. And no sign-in is required. That's what's great about Google Drawings.
Okay. So I could use this Google drawing
What I would recommend
on my main page for people to choose their topics.
I would recommend that you go to the top left and say make a copy.
Top left.
It would be File and then make a copy. There it is. And so now this will be your personal copy. The one that I shared with you is an example, so other people might be editing it. But if you make your own copy, then it won't have anyone else's changes.
I have a question.
Yes, please.
Is there a possibility to get rid of the, I mean, on the top right, you have an arrow pointing downwards or upwards, showing or adding the menu bar. Is there a way of making the menu bar hidden by default?
Unfortunately, if you want to make it editable, it's not. But if you don't need it to be editable, the same trick that we use for Google Docs also works for Google Drawings. You change the word edit in the URL to preview, but I think that's not what you wanted, unfortunately. That would be great.
No, I don't. I just want to example post it with Google Drawing and that text to disappear and just have the icon menu bar.
I want that too, and unfortunately, it's not possible. That would be fantastic.
Yeah.
Because it does take up extra space up there. So that, but I find that this is simpler than Miro, but it's not as powerful as Miro. And the advantage is people don't have to sign in. Okay. So yes, additional questions here. Oh, we have another one. Uwe says, try Nextboard. Great, I will try that. And I'll put it also in the list of tools that are embeddable that list of tools that's embeddable. Let's see, do we have next? Oh, I have Nextboard written on there. It's one of our examples for whiteboarding tools. Somebody else has suggested it, so apparently it's popular among facilitators, so definitely worth checking out. If you can't find the link to all the tools that we can embed, I'll put that back in the Zoom chat.
Now I copy the Google Drive drawing, but I don't know how to go back to my event.
You have maybe 7 tabs open on your browser. I believe it's tab number 6 is your event. If you move your mouse directly up there and move over one more tab to the left, it's live circle to discussion.
Okay. I had to move the Zoom tab.
Yes, Zoom gets in the way when you're screen sharing. So definitely good to feel that here in a safe space without working for a client. Okay, so now we've put in 2 different documents. If you would like to put in multiple documents in a room, I can show you how to do that. All right, please click help, correction, please click edit. And then we're gonna go back to where you were, where you pasted in. So we're gonna scroll down to the orange section, customize your main space. All right, and please go down to where, now, to the left side of each of those links, the first one, let's put the word agenda and a colon. And let's make it a capital A. The colon will be 2 dots. I don't know how to say it in other languages. Exactly, you've got it. And make it a capital big capital A for agenda. Okay, and on the line below, please click the, let's do draw, D-R-A-W, and a colon, 2 dots. So this part that I'm about to show you is, you don't want to do it. You don't want to be editing in here because it's tight. So we have a better way to do it. But just so you can see what it looks like when you have 2 tabs in the same room, please go to the left of draw. And we're going to move this up to the next line. So backspace or delete, and now 1 space between them. We put the space between them so that we know these are 2 things. And the word agenda and the word draw are going to be the names of the tools. It's going to be a button that you can click on. One button is going to say agenda and one button is going to say draw. Some people don't mind what we just did. There is an easier way to do it, and I'll show you that next. But please go down to the bottom and click the green button. All we did is we moved those 2 tools that were previously in the main room in room 1. Now we've moved them to 2 tabs in the same room. And you see agenda at the top is blue, and you can click draw at the top. And that's, you can click on draw, which is right next to agenda.
If I want to put a welcoming video on my main page, how do I do that?
Okay, let's do that. Please click on draw so that everyone can see next to agenda that now we're in one room and you've got 2 tools. So that's how you can have multiple tools. There's no limit to the number of buttons that you can have going across. So now if I will get a YouTube video for you. I will share my screen for now.
So I stop sharing mine? No.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
YouTube. All right, I select a video and I click share on the YouTube video and we want embed. Here's the full embed code. I can copy that and I'm going to go to our event. I'm going to the Learn circle. This is where all the events were listed. This is the free training that we're in. And I'll click Edit. And in our description, I'm going to paste. Let me see if this will work. I think it works just right out of the box. So just paste in the embed code. And then we go back to event RSVP page. Okay, there's the video. Let's make some other changes. I will click edit and I will make the width so that you should not feel intimidated, just testing out what it's like to edit HTML. It says the width is 560. Let's try 100%. So that's going to make it go the full width. This is easy for you to do once you see someone do it. And I'm also going to make it a little bit taller. Make a 400 instead of 315. So I'll scroll down. I'll click update. And then we'll go back to the RSVP page. Now it is full width. Okay. And if we want to put this into our event, I'm going to go down to the bottom here. Do we have any? I'm going to say example embed code for YouTube. And there is the embed code. But if we want to put this into our room up here, you copy just the link, just the embed link. We don't need all of the code, just the embed link. And I'm going to go to edit. And just where you were, it's the same thing. We're just going to paste this link the same place that you did. I'm not going to put it in the main room. We're going to leave that blank because we already have our notes there. So I'm going to put it down on the next room. So it's going to be in room 1. Just paste in the link to the YouTube video. Before I go any further, any questions about what I just did? Click update. I have to go into the next room to see it. And there it'll be.
Lucas?
Yes.
I tried this and does that not work with Firefox, or is it my firewall with Firefox, or what is it? Because it says Firefox is not allowed to open this embedded page. Let me show you.
Okay, yes, please do. I will stop screen sharing.
Thank you. Yes, here we go.
All right, please go down down a little bit more. And can you just put your mouse over where the orange button is at the bottom? Ah, okay. You have here the link to the YouTube video.
Exactly.
But not the link to not the embed link.
Oh, okay. So that's not the same. Sorry about that.
No, so this is common. I see your YouTube video is at the top of the screen. So please click tab number 4 if you can see it there. And good. Now,
yep. And then it's here.
Yes.
Just like you showed before. And the link would be
that's
probably.
It. Yes, it's a little tricky to select it here because they select, so you have to take it and then somewhere else you've got to take just the link out.
Okay, thanks.
Yes, great. Okay.
Thank you.
I'm glad that we covered that on this training because people at home, when they're watching this later, will.
Yep, right. Thank you.
Did you have examples of events with musicians, like people playing drums or guitar during an event on Qiqo Chat? In a room, let's say.
Yes, we do that in a few ways. This was an open space event for 687 people. And here, one tab was live DJs from Berlin. And so people were on Zoom. And they can also watch YouTube at the same time. So they can hear the music together.
Okay, but not people actually playing music together in a room, let's say.
We've had that too. But It's only one musician in one location, because with two musicians in two locations, the timing will be off for the sound.
Mhm. So the musician would film himself through Zoom?
Yes, they turn their computer on and they can perform. They have to maybe make sure their microphone is good. If you want to see their setup here, this is how they did it. You can't hear the sound, but they're in a studio. And he's adjusting his computer there. So that was a professional studio that had a microphone and everything else. And the musician would know better than I will how to make sure their sound is good.
Mhm.
Here's another event where we had some live music. Let's see. So on the right-hand side, we're going to put in a PDF and a web page for code of conduct. You can put in a custom background like this. I will share the link for how to do that. But live music here. So on the right-hand side, they just put in a beautiful photo to set the stage.
Mm.
No notes, no Google Doc, and then join video. If you want the photo needs to live somewhere on the internet and you need a link for it. So in Zoom chat, I shared with you this link, new resource. And this is how you can upload anything like a PDF or a photo. You just put in a title, my example photo, and then click upload a file. Add the file from your computer. And publish. So there's a lot of buttons there, but you only need to click a few of them. So upload a file. And so now the file lives somewhere. I click open the file and I can get the link. So this is the link I can use now anywhere.
Okay, so where is the link again for this tool?
Okay, I'll put it, it's in the Zoom chat near the top where it says upload a document.
Okay.
Is there a way to reach that link from within the Qiqo? The Qiqo.
Yes, so here is the list of tools you can embed. And then down at the bottom, instructions for embedding custom HTML or upload a PDF. We'll go to this one, upload a PDF.
Ja,
And
jeg er
then-
ikke ferdig med møtet ennå.
And then it explains how to do that here.
Okay.
So that link will be right here, upload a new PDF.
But this, when I upload something, it's public or for everyone who's in, or it's just for my circle or my...
We do not let people search for documents, but it is public on the internet. So people can't find it on Qiqo Chat, but if someone has the link, they can see it.
So I could also use my own website, for example, for uploading a picture that's not visible, but I can get a link, and then I use it on Qiqo.
Absolutely.
So if it lives on your Google Drive as a document, you have an address and a place for it.
You do. With Google Drive, it's not embeddable unless you change the link a certain way. And I'm going to put those instructions into the embeddable document. If you just can't get it to work, you can upload it on Qiqo and then it can be there. But Google doesn't allow a PDF to be embedded, just like the YouTube video didn't work. You have to do something to the URL and then it will work. And I'll put those instructions in. One thing that I'd like to show next is if you've got a complex event with many different links all over the place, we're going to, there's a better way to track that. We track it with a Google Sheet. So you can go edit, and then customize your main space. It's the same place. Here's all our online tools. Now there's a lot of them. If you put none, it won't put anything there. And then it's just too much for a person to track all this. So click helpful hints. And then we recommend keeping a list of all your notes pages outside of Qiqo Chat using a copy of this Google spreadsheet template. So you open up this template and you can make a copy. Here are the instructions. File, make a copy. And then we have all of your rooms, and 1, 2, 3, 4. And then here's the first tab. Here's the second tab. And the tab has a name and a link, a name and a link. And you put them all here. You might have 200 documents if it's a big conference and you've got 5 things and 40 breakouts. And then all you do is copy this part. That's going to be automatically put in the right format. And then you paste it into the spot where you were normally pasting that. Okay, so once again, online tools, and you click helpful hints, you will find that spreadsheet. All of these instructions, we put all the words there, but you don't need them all. It's just some people need one, other people need another, so we put all the tips in there. It's a lot, but as you see, you don't need to read them all in order to create a great event. If you want to try changing the color here, I'm going to click edit, and we'll go down to custom text and formatting. This is where you can set the default language for your event. You could change the words, so click to Rsvp. That's an American translation of French, Respondez s'il vous plaît. It doesn't translate into all languages. So when people register, you might want something else there instead. These are all the things you can change on the Rsvp page, that landing page. And then in the event space, here's all the other things you can change.
How do we get to this function?
It's the regular edit button next to your event right here. Click edit. And then once you click edit, scroll down. We've spent all our time here in the customize your main space, but you go down to the green area.
Okay.
And then just for fun, I'm going to give you all of this code. I'd like you to take this code if you want, copy it, and put it here where it says custom CSS formatting in the green section. I'm going to put this for you in our event. Back in the main room. So there's a lot of it there. Underneath custom CSS. So don't copy custom CSS, just everything below it. And that's a way that you can add some color to your event. There are instructions, add custom styles. Here are the full instructions for how to do this, which I'll share the link. Some people like to make their events look different. This is advanced, and we can help you with it. We give an hour of free support for every event. You don't have to do it yourself. Custom CSS, advanced. I'll go ahead and put all those colors into our event, and you'll see how it changes our event, our free training. I'll click edit. And then custom text and formatting, and custom CSS, and paste. What is it doing? It's saying, here's the body of the page. The body is the whole thing. We're going to change the color with a gradient from one color to another. Then we're going to change some of the buttons. It's advanced and painful if you, but it's quickly, you could change the whole color of the buttons and everything else. And we can help you do it. I can teach you, and you can also go through that link down here where it says the tutorial for custom CSS. Okay, the floor is open for any questions.
If you want people to arrive more like in like a reception and maybe listen to music or coming into and waiting for a meeting to start, I saw someone like inviting you to. I know they share like a link to a YouTube video of a fire, but how do you do this?
Okay, so you can have the YouTube video playing here automatically on our page where it says, go up here, tools you can embed. I will scroll down to YouTube and click on that. It takes me down on the same page, and here are the instructions to have the video play automatically. You can follow these instructions. This is the embed code you'd put in there. You just change the link, but it's going to have this special autoplay =1 and some other things, but that's how you can make, when people arrive in the main room, it will be playing. So there's some other things you can do. If you can use breakout rooms inside your Zoom meeting. So right now, I am the host of this meeting, and I can turn on breakout rooms. So just like you normally would, I'm making 10 breakout rooms. It says, let participants choose rooms. I'm opening all the rooms. If you wanted to, you can go into a breakout room now. And this is another way, if people come 30 minutes early, they can network with each other, move themselves between breakout rooms before the event begins. And then you can close all the breakout rooms, and then they all show up so you can start on time.
Could you repeat just what you just said, because it was too quick for me. I didn't understand.
Absolutely. Thanks for asking. If I created breakout rooms inside the Zoom meeting, separate from the Qiqo chat rooms, inside our Zoom meeting just now, we have breakout rooms turned on. And now with Zoom, people can move themselves between breakout rooms. And this is good for networking before your event begins. So if you start at 9 a.m., then people can show up at 9:30, and you say, come early, and you can move between the breakout rooms in Zoom, and you can meet people in groups of 2 or 3. Move however you like. Have your conversations, and then come back to the main room at 9 o'clock when it's time to start. There's another.
For that, still we don't have to have the paid plan. It's included.
Yes, it's included. The next thing I can show is Spatial Chat, which is a fun tool, which I'm going to take the link to Spatial Chat and I'm going to put it into one of our rooms here. I will put it, let's see, what's in room 1? Here we have Pavarotti. I will go and put Spatial Chat. This is a networking tool that is good between sessions, not in the beginning, but between sessions. I'll go customize your main space. I'm going to take out all these topics that we had in there from before, and I'm going to put in Spatial Chat. There's the link to Spatial Chat. Spatial Chat costs you $25. It costs us $50. We share it among many facilitators. We pay $50 a month. We have several accounts, and you can borrow one for $25 for your event. And I'm also going to turn off Zoom video in that room. So I'm going down to, this is room 1, because this is the main room up here, and this is room 1. Show and hide. I can hide a room. Well, I'm just going to hide room 4, just so you can see what that looks like. And then I'm going to hide the join video button in our Spatial Chat room, because I don't want people to go use Zoom when they're using Spatial Chat, because they'll get an echo. And click update. So if I go to room 1, anybody who's in room 1 would have to refresh the page because I made a change. So now there's no join video button at the top left. Also, look, there's no room 4 because we've hidden room 4. So as facilitators, you might want to create all your rooms and then hide the ones for day 2, hide the ones for day 3. And then you don't have to do any work between your days. You just show and hide the rooms. Spatial Chat is fun for networking. It takes a little bit of tech knowledge, or they got to feel comfortable with your computer. But you click continue, and you can test out your camera and your microphone here, and then click join. On the previous screen, you have to enter your name. If you can't click that button, it's because you got to put your name in. So I click join, and now I'm the only one in here right now, but others are welcome to join me here. We'll want to mute ourselves. I'm going to mute myself in here so that the sound doesn't go around. But now, if I move close to someone, I can hear them and they can hear me. And if I move away, I cannot hear Urban anymore because I'm too far. And so it's a neat way to navigate. And you can move around in different groups. So that's Spatial Chat. And just let us know if you need it for any of your events. And it's fun.
Lucas, did I get that right? That if I want to share a PDF file from my computer, I cannot upload it directly. I have to upload it to Qiqo, some kind of SharePoint you provide first, and then take the link and embed it just the way we did with the Google Doc or the YouTube link.
That's exactly correct. You use that for other people that didn't follow what you said, because you definitely know it and other people wouldn't necessarily get it unless they try it. Click the link that says new resource in the Zoom chat, and she did it exactly right. You upload the document, and then you take the link to the document, and then you paste it into, just like you have a Google Doc.
And you cannot upload it into Google Doc because the extension will not be .pdf.
That's correct.
Perfect, I got it. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, so that's a fun networking tool called Spatial Chat. And there are some other options also. If you want to play around with all of the options like Wonder, Work Adventure, let's see.
I was not able to access the Spatial Chat. It says that we weren't able to access the microphone in our webcam. Please make sure no other application is currently accessing it. Also, I had to close my webcam and microphone from Zoom in order to access the spatial chat?
Yes, in fact, you will have to leave Zoom to make it work. That was the message. Even though you turned off, you were muted in Zoom, Zoom still had your microphone. So must leave Zoom and then try spatial chat.
Okay.
Great experimentation. All right, and we have other options like Wonder. It used to be called Yo Tribe. Here's spatial chat, work adventure. This one's like a video game. And I'll show it just to show what's possible. But this is for a crowd that likes video games, I think. Not all crowds, but you choose your person and you turn on your camera. And then okay, there I can move around the screen. And then if I get close to somebody, then we're going to be on video together. So it's fun, but not for everybody, right? I'll put the link here so you can test out all these other tools. I'm going to put that in our training for today.
Lucas,
yes.
What is the intention of for you using the gardens?
Okay, we'll talk about the gardens. So the gardens, instead of being an event, the gardens are a place and people can go to them at any time. Liberating Structures Community of Practice, ls.qiqochat.com, ls.qiqochat.com. Here is a circle. A circle has many events. It's for the Liberating Structures community, this circle. And here are their events. And I'm going to click the gardens. And this is a place for this community to go anytime to join video. Just like if you want to take a walk to a park. You don't know who you're going to see, but you know that around noon, that's when people are eating lunch. And a community can come together like that. No need to register. You just show up and join Zoom. And there are multiple gardens. If this one gets too crowded and you want to talk to people about some different topic, oh, they're talking about soccer in garden number 2. I click enter and you see a new photo and I can join video there. If the conversation changes and now we're talking about books that we are reading, then the topic is now changed and you'll see people will come to this one. So this is for a circle and it's the same cost as a live event. I will give you the link so you can test that out too.
So the link, when we'll click on the link, we'll be able to create a circle, a garden?
Yes, when you create a circle, you're creating a garden automatically. Every circle has a garden and you can turn it off if you want.
And is it possible for us to know what other circles and gardens exist in the Qiqo chat community if we want to join a garden?
We do not let people search for circles because we want to keep them relatively private so they don't get disrupted. But there are some circles that you can. So here's a few links. So testing out spatial chat and Wonder. Here's the link for that. Then start your own circle. That has a garden. Test out a garden. There's a link in there where you can test out a garden, or I'll also put in the demo garden so you can just test it out directly. And if you want to learn about tools that you have in a circle, these are free tools. The only ones you pay for are the garden and the events, same price. We'll have another.
Lucas,
Yes, we'll have another tutorial about circles. Here are the
okay.
tools. Yes.
But if you have a paying customers, do you need to have like Eventbrite or something else to get your customers in and get paid from them, or can you use also Qiqo Chat for this?
We recommend using Eventbrite. So you can connect Qiqo Chat and Eventbrite using these instructions. And the way it works is when people register on Eventbrite, it will create their account on Qiqo Chat if it doesn't already exist. And if it does exist, it'll find it by email address. And then it sends them an invitation. So this is using a tool in the middle called Zapier, which costs about $25. But the advantage is that as soon as someone registers on Eventbrite and they pay you, they get an email where they click and they can get in. They don't need a password and you don't need to do anything because your event might have already started and you don't want to have to send them an email because you're facilitating. So here are the instructions. All of these different links that I'm sharing are also available in the user guide. So I should probably just put the user guide here. We offer a free hour of support, as I mentioned, for every event. So you don't have to figure all of this out on your own. You can pay us also. If you put us in the budget, we charge $108 per hour, $108 per hour for nonprofits, $150 for for-profits. If your client is a nonprofit, you get the nonprofit rate. There's a lot. And you see, though, you can start an event. We all created an event in just, it only took a minute. And then if you want to customize it, now that people have been spending a lot of time on Spatial Chat, on Zoom, now people are expecting more and more interactive events. And I understand that's why many of you came here. So people want events that have more. And so you can keep up with them. If there's new tools they want, you can bring them in. Here's another type of event that you can have, an example of sponsor booths or a poster session where many posters are being shared at the same time. So here's a conference. This is a video about how it works. I can click exhibitor passport and I can see all the exhibitors. I can share my information with any of them just by clicking this button. So they get my name and email address if I'm a participant, or I can visit their booth by clicking on the logo or clicking on visit booth. Here is their booth. You can see all of their booths on the left-hand side. There's their web page. And then Instagram, Facebook, another PDF, and all of these instructions for how to use Instagram and Facebook, that's in that same link that you've already seen here. Free, it's tools you can embed right here.
One question regarding the customer or the participant information. Well, sure, name and email address is required, but can they share even other information like I'm interested in or I'd like to discuss about? anything like that? Is there a field or any place where participants can leave some information?
I would recommend using a Google form and embedding that.
Okay.
And if you have to manage many different, well, it sounded like in your instance, it was you would set it up.
Well, the question, I can make it more precise, because what we're thinking about is we're going to have an event of 80 to 100 people, and we'd like to match some people as well, because many of them don't know each other. So if there are common interests, if there are topics they'd like to discuss upon, so it would be nice to have a kind of feature to match them, those that fit. Any idea?
We haven't done that yet, but we'd love to build something like that. I think that you can handle that currently by when people register, you would just do this work manually. You'd say, what do you want to talk about? And then you can assign them into groups. But the way that I normally do it is I don't do that extra work, and I just will put the quote, bird of a feather topic. And then they say, oh, I'm interested in cooking. I'm interested in reading. Yeah. And they move themselves in and out. That's kind of the Qiqo way, is to do less as a facilitator and let them move themselves. And then there's less for them to type out when they register. But I don't know what's better for your situation. Absolutely, matching could be fantastic. But you see, it's more work. But
yeah, sure.
We're going to be building tools like that as time goes on. I think we want, if you've ever used a tool like Remo, it's pretty cool where you can move between.
It's not really mission critical at the moment. So it's not really mission critical. Well, another question that might be well defined here is we'd like to self-onboard the people, so letting them play around a little bit with Qiqo Chat, with the boards that are integrated and so on. So that would be easy to be done by just setting up a different event where they can have a kind of dry run and get familiar with the systems. And then we have them perfectly trained when they're entering the room for the real conference.
I would recommend
simply setting up a different event, isn't it?
I would recommend have them enter the actual conference ahead of time. Then you don't have to make two. But if you want, you can make two.
Difficult. Yeah.
You can click edit and then copy event.
Yeah.
So that's one way to make two if you'd like.
Yeah, great.
Then I think I put here some example orientation videos right here. So before an event, for some of our clients, they want a 2-minute video where we walk people through. You can watch these example orientation videos to hear the level of detail that we think is helpful. And it's really just helping people get to Zoom. Once they get to Zoom, they're good.
Yeah.
We also recommend a tech check. Like you've mentioned, getting people familiar. You have an hour over here, an hour over here, and they can do this whenever they want, but you're going to be present this hour, you're going to be present this hour. They come in, they make sure they have access, that they put in the right email address, and then that they can launch Zoom. And you're there to answer any questions, and you can show them around the space. So tech check 1, 2, or 3 days ahead of time. And it's informal. They just pop in for 5 minutes. I think that's very helpful.
Indeed, yes. Thank you.
Hey, Lucas, thanks so much for this free training. Quick question. Once this concludes, will we have access to the link to like play around?
Yes, Nadine. So these are your test events. They are permanently free. Just go ahead and use it as much as you like. You can make more free test events using the tutorial that says how to create a free test event. And if an invoice will show up if you do something that's not in the test circle, but if you were just doing it as a test, you write a comment, this was just my test. As long as like a $5, $10, we just let them go.
Got it. Cool. Thank you.
In the helpful links list, Lucas. Okay, now I'm not able to click and access the free tools in the circle and the tools you can embed.
Okay, I must have put that one in incorrectly. I'll get that done right now. Yes, I think there was another question while I'm fixing this.
Yes, I want to use this most for like having one place for processes to be going on, and I want to use one of these like breakout rooms, more like a library, and one also like if there's possibility of like a boya for a future wiki that everything that is written and that we find. Or conclude or base, if you know this future wiki, it's like Wikipedia but about the future and the work you are going through. Is it a possibility of setting this up for like 1 to 3 months and coming back to the same space over and over again, or is this not a good way of doing it?
This is a great way of doing it. By the way, those links are now set for you, Annik. And then on Haiti, I think that's one of the advantages of, you can say, we have a place for people to collaborate for this many months. It's an event, and it's got these breakout rooms. And then we're going to meet on January 15th in this space. And then we're going to meet again in the same space, January 31st. And you could turn the video on and off at different times. I think this is very good. When you just have a Zoom meeting, all of the links and collaboration, they're lost in the chat. So that's a great way to go.
But is it then possible to take like the meeting documentation from one meeting and to the next meeting you maybe move it into the breakout rooms like the library, and where you have a lot of tags from like meeting documentation from this meeting and then for the next meeting, and use the tags, or how do you think it would work out the best?
I think that would work out well. One other way, let's say you have a meeting every week. You could just take the link to the notes every week, take one link for each week, and then put them in one document that has all the links. So this way you only have to move one document to the next meeting, and it will always grow and show all the links that you have. We have open, oh yes, please go ahead.
Sorry, I have one last question. The event we created on my account, if I just want to modify it a little bit and use it for my first event, when will I be charged for it?
Because it's in the demo circle, we aren't looking at it for charging. So let me know, please. I'll move it out of the demo circle. When the event is over, within a day, the bill is created. And it shows you, because we have to go to Zoom in the evening and say how many minutes were used. We do that every day. And so the bill is created within 8 hours of the event, within 24 hours, something like that. And so you can go up to your name and click on billing, and you will see the bill. And if there's anything wrong, you can write a comment in there. If you use your own Zoom meeting, oh, go ahead.
And I see on this list that there are different languages. Is there a way I can translate my pages automatically in my language?
Yes, if your language is not listed here, we can use your help. This is all generated by facilitators. Here's the English, and then this is always growing and changing. So just let us know if your language is not listed, and we will see. Some Japanese and Czech are coming soon. You can go and add your language here and just translate what's here, put it in that column, and then let me know, and we'll put it on the site. I'll put this up here. sometimes people will have an event where they need 2 languages in all the buttons. So you say it in French and German with a slash in the middle. And the way to edit these room names, click edit and customize your main space and room. So add a title for each, like that. And just a lot of the things are editable here, and then also editing here. Put it in different languages. We have open office hours about 6 times a week, where you could just drop in with ask any question. I put that in the Zoom chat. I'll also put it in our notes here. And the tool always gets better as you share with us. For example, today, the idea of Tiny MCE, a better text editor. Just ask us, and then we put it in, because we need to hear where the friction is. Thank you very much for your time today. Let's see if there are any final questions before we go. I'll put my email address in the chat. If you have any additional questions, we have 7 more of these trainings in the next 36 hours. You can always drop back in.
Thank you so much, Lucas. It was very useful, very.
Thanks
Thank
for
you
sharing your
very
screen.
much.
Take care, everyone.
Nice to meet you all.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you and bye-bye.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye.